This is Greg Troutwine. I'm the editor of Maritime Reporter and Engineering News. We're here with Maritime Reporter TV at the Shipping Insight 2016. And we're here right now with Nick Confuorto, the president and the COO of CR Ocean Engineering. First off, Nick, thanks for taking the time and joining us.
Thank you very much for doing the interview.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Nick, started off, could you just give us a description of CR Ocean Engineering?
CR Ocean Engineering is a company that designs and supplies scrubbing systems to the shipping industry. The background of the company is land-based scrubbing. We've been doing scrubbers since the 1960s for many different applications. About 4 years ago, we entered the marine market, and since then we've successfully now completed quite a few projects. We're now on 14 different scrubbers globally, and many more coming.
Okay. Land-based scrubbing and marine scrubbing. What are the differences, and what was the learning curve?
The primary difference is, of course, the inlet. When we scrub on land, the inlet is usually from the side. When we were modernizing the scrubber technology for marine, we wanted to be able to fit in a funnel, which then required a bottom inlet. And so most of our development was coming up with a bottom inlet. Okay. The balance of the scrubber technology is similar to what we use on land for many years. Okay. But in terms of learning experience, is more of a learning experience for the customer, understanding scrubbers, being able to maintain it and operate it, and just not being scared of them. Because initially we found that to be the biggest roadblock was people were scared of scrubbers. They just didn't want to put them on their ships. Okay.
Is there a common misconception that you've seen?
Yeah, the big misconception is that most companies believe that there is a lot of maintenance and operation effort, and realistically, if the scrubber is designed properly, there isn't any. It's very little. It's just minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Nick, obviously, ship owners, they're in a lot of them are having tough times. At least the cost of fuel is low. So, in a low fuel cost environment, how do you see the uptake of scrubbers today?
Well, the low fuel has impacted our industry quite a bit. Many potential customers have chosen to wait a while. Fuel will not be low for a long time, especially if in 2020 the 0.5 goes into play. We're going to see the differential between low sulfur and high sulfur spiking considerably more than it is now. And the industry is kind of expecting that. We've seen reports of anywhere in a $600 to $1,000 range for the differential. At that price, they can afford many scrubbers. The main driver for our business is not so much a requirement for scrubbers, but it's a requirement for wanting to save money. So for competitiveness between shipping companies, if they are compelled now to buy low sulfur fuel, and the low sulfur fuel is got a differential of perhaps $200 or more, at that point they should definitely consider scrubbers because it can save them money.
Okay. As we were discussing before, the low fuel price is perhaps delaying some of the decisions that ship owners are having to make regarding their fuel, the systems that they have on the ship. 2020 is an important date coming for ship owners. Can you explain why?
In 2020, IMO may go ahead and implement low sulfur fuel to 0.5. A decision was originally slated for 2018, but many of the European Union and many other parties to IMO have pushed it for a decision earlier, which makes sense. Once they decide, they will need several years to implement. If they waited until 2018, there will not be sufficient amount of time to implement 2020. So right now, the decision it's intended to be in October of this year, next week. If they decide on 2020, at least now they will have 3+ years to implement, which will give everybody some time to get ready. But if they don't decide, it's going to be very difficult to make 2020 if they put it off by another year.
Again, Nick, I very much appreciate you joining us here today.
Thank you.
Craig Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV. Thank you.
Thank you very much.